I don't think I've ever had a top 10 where every team in this top 10 absolutely deserves to be there. It just shows you the parity and the depth of players in the NFL. Here we go. Carolina Panthers. Once again, Ron Rivera, one of the smartest defensive coaches in the league. They're second in sacks, fourth in pass defense, eighth overall. So this is what they give Cam every year. By the way, Christian McCaffrey leads the NFL in rushing and scrimmage yards, and Kyle Allen's the only quarterback in the Super Bowl era to go 4-0 with no interceptions in his 4 starts. Been saying it for years. They're well coached. They always have top 10 defenses, and they've got plenty of talent. Stop telling me Cam Newton doesn't have help. This is a top 8 to 10 roster and a top 7 or 8 defense with the NFL's leading rusher, Carolina, at 10. Buffalo Bills are the best defense in the NFL. It's not New England. New England's played junk offenses. Buffalo had to face Tom Brady. This defense is unbelievable. Third in scoring, third in pass defense, third down in total defense. But what is remarkable about Buffalo, and there are limitations to their offensive explosion, they have scored 10 touchdowns in 14 red zone trips. With Josh Allen? I mean, Josh Allen is got a big ceiling, but he's not close to where he could be. That is coaching. Okay, Cleveland's got all this talent. They're a lousy red zone offense. Buffalo doesn't have near the talent. They're a great red zone offense. This is a coaching league. Buffalo, that coaching staff, this is the best defense in the league. Maybe not statistically, but it's the best defense in the league. Buffalo 9. You're going to be shocked, Kansas City. They can't stop the run. They can't stop the run. They're 30th in rush defense. They're 25th in total defense. Bottom line is you cannot win a Super Bowl with this defense. Now, this morning, they're number 8 for another reason. The defense and nobody's healthy. You're asking me this morning who's the top 4 or 5 teams in the league. They're not healthy enough. They just got dogged at home by Indianapolis, who didn't have Darius Leonard, Malik Hooker, and Andrew Luck. So they're going to move up. But right now, physically and defensively, this is not a great team. Kansas City at 8. Rams at 7. Now, one of the problems with the Rams, Sean McVay teams don't turn it over. This team's a turnover mess. They have 11. That's tied for the most in the NFL. But I don't think, a lot of that's random. Fumbles are random. I don't think they'll lead the NFL in turnovers in 3 weeks. So I think that is solvable. What is not solvable is they're allowing 27 points a game. Their secondary, Marcus Peters, has been roasted multiple times, Aqib Talib. That worries me. Listen, they don't have a running game right now. That's a problem. But I think a lot of their stuff is solvable. I still think Marcus Peters and Aqib Talib are talented. I don't think they'll be a turnover machine the rest of the year. But I can't put them higher than 7 because they don't have a running game. Seattle. Now, you'd think they'd be higher, but they could have lost that game to the Rams if the ball's 1 foot left. That defense is about coaching and Pete Carroll because that defense has 1 star. It is a total work in progress, and yet they're 6th in the NFL in third down defense and 4th in rushing. That is a testament. Now, Jadeveon Clowney helps, but that is a testament to what Pete Carroll does. He is a great teacher of defensive principles. Russell Wilson is the MVP. But again, I think right now the story is Pete Carroll's coaching. This defense could get better. They're not there yet. I think they'll be really tested in Cleveland this week. And I have Seattle at 6. Green Bay. The story is Aaron Rodgers now has the coach he likes. Here's the other thing. They lead the NFL in takeaways with 11. Now, they got gashed by Philadelphia, but that's because it was mostly they just ran the ball and didn't give Green Bay a chance to take it away. That's a good team. It's a good football team. They've had 1 bad half. Their defense was hemorrhaging yards second half against Philadelphia. First half, it wasn't that bad. So I look at Green Bay and I think I've got almost every component I need. Again, their turnover differential's +7. So they're taking it away and they're not giving it back. And I get Aaron Rodgers, who does appear to be happier. He tends to have moods. He does appear to be on the upswing with his mood. And By the way, they've also scored more points every week, Joey. 10, 21, 27, 27, 34. So this is a growing offense. Philadelphia. My final four teams are always my favorites to win the Super Bowl. They have had all sorts of injuries. They have no deep threat, left tackle, and they are second on third down offense. That is a huge stat for me. That's about coaching. That's about push. That's about execution. This is one of the two best teams in the league on third down of getting first downs. They're also, by the way, the best run defense in the league. So you don't get first downs. So what Philadelphia does is get you off the field on third down, and they extend their opportunities on third down. They've been in a lot of close games. They've dealt with a lot of injuries. But I thought last week was a little bit of a deep breath they needed. Didn't have to play the starters as long. Philadelphia, to me, OD lines will carry them to the NFC Championship. New Orleans Saints. Folks, when you can win 3 straight games with a backup, and the games are at Seattle, Dallas, and against a pretty dynamic Tampa Bay team, you're a good football team. Twice this year, and we're going to have Cameron Jordan on later, twice this year, they've had 6+ sacks in a game. I really undervalued their defense. Their defense has been really, really good. Remember, they're a bad whistle away from being undefeated against the Rams. They're a bad whistle away. So they've been kind of the surprise in the NFL for me. Their defense is, I think, sensational, and Teddy Bridgewater is he's a starter, but he's also currently the best backup by far in the NFL. What do you want me to say with San Francisco? What do I not like? I think their coach is a genius. I think Garoppolo's 10-2 as a starter. They didn't even have their left tackle last night, and they gashed Cleveland's defense. They're number 2 in total defense. Bosa's a nightmare. I got to tell you, John Lynch, the GM, a lot of those draft picks now look really, really good. They didn't even play a lot of their young receivers last night. They have super depth on the defensive line and at wide receiver. Their defense has only allowed 2 touchdowns in 10 red zone drives. And why is that? You saw it last night. It is fast. It is physical. It is long. Richard Sherman on the outside. This is a real team, folks. This is not a mirage. This is a real team. I'm not overreacting. Cleveland could have lost last night 41-3. Cleveland is only a 1-point underdog to Seattle. That tells you a little bit about what San Francisco's got athletically. Best coach in football is Bill Belichick. They have the best secondary I think I've seen in my life. It's not the best defense. Buffalo is. They've played a bunch of bad offenses. But this is kind of New England. Last week, they found their running game. Now, maybe that's Washington, but I've got Brady, Belichick. They found a running game. Now, they're not a dominant number 1. I don't think they could go to New Orleans and win. I don't think they could go to Lambeau right now or Philadelphia and win. The offensive line's a work in progress, and the wide receiver situation is, they're making it work, but they've got a guy in IR. For the record, Gronk just signed with Fox Sports, I read this morning, so he's not coming back. He's working here, so they better figure out the tight end spot as well, but New England right now is number 1. All right, coming up, Gronk signed. I just read that this morning. Gronk works for us now.
Part of the family. I actually don't disagree with your hierarchy for once.
Now I have Houston at 11, Minnesota 12.
I'm cool with that. I like that, actually.
Yeah, Houston's right outside. My knock on Houston is every time I buy into them,
yeah, I want to see a little more. I like Houston this year, but I would want to see a little more.
Yeah, pretty good right there. Yeah. Feeling pretty good. I don't think I'm overreacting to San Francisco.
What's going to stick out to everyone is Kansas City, but the reasoning for it is fair.
They have 9 starters. This morning,
there's a lot of injuries. Yeah, it's a real problem.
This morning, they're not a great team. This morning, they're a beat-up team that can't stop the run.
The run thing is what worries me the most, though, because you can move around some pieces and get healthy. The run thing is a real problem.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.